So, you know what I was talking about in those last videos? Well, let's talk about what happens when you don't take your own advice. Now, I can't give out too many details because I want the anonymity of my friends to stay anonymous as much as possible, even within the circle of friends that I have. And I also, like I said, don't want this to be a narcissistic dumping ground. So, my mistakes. My mistakes were offering as much as I could. I should have offered less than I could. I expended too much energy helping when I should have just accepted the invitation, offered partial help instead of jumping in and helping to my full capabilities. Everything was fine. I was very impressed with my ability to keep myself together with lots of screaming kids and people smoking joints and lots of conversations going on, lots and lots of ambient noise. Because I was asked to help create a menu, and so I created a vegan menu, and then I felt obliged to cook, which was fine. I haven't cooked for a lot of people in a long time, and I was quite impressed with my ability to do so and to delegate roles off. Then obviously we had dinner and then dessert, and for dessert I had a really rum fruitcake and red wine and brandy poached fruit. So I ate this, and there was definitely a lot of alcohol in there. Like I've mentioned, alcohol makes me depressive. So whether that had an influence as well, I was not expecting that if I was to eat fruit and cake that had alcohol in it, that it would affect my mood straight away. But, you know, my mental state was wavering. I should have already realized that it was wavering. First mistake. Second mistake was wanting to stay, wanting to be a part of the socialness. And now that the kids had just left, you know, I felt like maybe I could let down my guard a bit and allow myself to relax and try and enjoy. But as the kids left, the alcohol and drug consumption increased. Smoking, which was done outside, was now moved inside, and I felt like I have made it perfectly clear that I can not be inside when people are smoking joints inside. I told a few friends about the last weekend, about how I visited my friend who had a birthday and how I woke up screaming and woke up in random places around my apartment and woke up 100 times, all in many different states. And none of this was taken into consideration. So I felt like my job had been done. I'd helped, I'd cooked, and now they were done with me, and I should just fuck off. Now, this obviously is not the reality, but this is what was going on in my mind, and not just a passing thought, like everyone tuning in and trying to convince me that I am now under attack and that I need to defend myself. It is hard not to go into detail. Another instance occurred with a friend who lost some property that my mother had given me, and I had stressed the point how important it was that the item be replaced, found where to get it online, saw that it wasn't excessively expensive, asked if they could do that. They completely agreed. They offered actually to begin with. Then they completely agreed. I reminded more than twice, and now that a month on, I found out more to the story, and so this was brought up again, and I couldn't keep quiet, so I had to question them, to which they just laughed it off because they were drunk and stoned. Again, not their fault, my responsibility. Do not raise a topic when you are not in a state where you can't handle whatever response you get. Fine, I have to leave now. Not happy about it, but that's what I have to do. I feel the urge to explain, but there is no point in explaining. No one will understand it. No one is in a state to remember it. And if I get stuck in a feedback loop of where people don't understand and I feel the need to explain, shit will just get loud, most likely. And I can be very loud, which is fine when you grow up in country Australia, but not so fine when you're in an apartment with dogs and drunk and stoned people. So I keep my mouth shut. I don't say anything. I pack up my stuff. I pack my bag. I try to say goodbye, but as I'm going to say goodbye, the whole touching people, hugging people, interaction, and they're holding joints right in front of my face, and there's voices screaming in my head like, I want the weed, just join, just stay the weed, let's just forget about it, come on, let's join in, come on, let's do it. And otherwise, get out mate, they're trying to catch you, they're trying to poison you, they're trying to suck you in, you know. Look, they don't care about you, they don't want you here, you need to leave, you need to go. And a friend of mine was getting ready to leave with me and could have had a nice walk and on the way home, and instead I now have to run out the door, and it's a thing, you know. Instead of them remembering the whole time of me cooking and everything being good, they've got an image of me running away, and instead of me having this nice thing of where I went and I helped and I cooked and I enjoyed, and then when I realized that I was not gonna continue like this, that I just nicely pack up my stuff, say goodbye and go home and enjoy this nice feeling. Instead I'm running out the door onto the street. I can't contain myself anymore. I just have to scream, fuck! But it's Berlin. Everyone turns and looks and then says, goes back to getting shit-faced and drunk, and the people are celebrating and no one really cares. I walk along now, I'm shaking. I have my headphones, I get my headphones out, I put the headphones on, play a Sam Harris podcast, and they're talking about really extremist stuff, like extremists. They're talking about extremists. But I'm not paying attention to what they're talking about. I'm just listening to the tone of the voice, the way they process something so complex and so fiery and so emotionally fueled. And this brings me to the level, and I just start walking. Now remember, I've had foot surgery and I have messed up hips and I got a backpack on and my back is, and I've been standing and like I've worked a day. It was a whole day of work, you know, cooking for 13 people and 4 or 5 kids. And I have to take the subway and I can't get in there. I can't get down to the subway. So now I have to walk home. I mean, it's not that cold. It was 6 or 7 degrees, so it's not that bad, but it is 5-6 Ks, you know, and like I say, I'm in pain and I can't walk slow, you know. I gotta get, well, it's still slower than like other people that are walking normally walk past me, but it's fast for me. So I end up coming home frustrated and in pain and tormented and in a state where just to get to sleep I have to take a sleeping pill. And now that it's 2 days past this point, I can talk about it here. And my friends will see this and they will feel bad, and don't feel bad. Feeling bad doesn't help you and it doesn't help me. Reflect. For fuck's sake. If you feel bad, chances are you're just going to reach for a drink or just going to reach for a joint or try and talk your way out of needing to reflect and process. It's not easy, but this is how I can love you. This is how I can coexist with you. This is how I live. In all its glory. Yeah. Well, I think that was productive. It's over.